Hey everyone, Tony Doherty here for ProLeague Live in Melbourne, Australia. So, this week we got a few exciting announcements. First of all, we had a whole lot of athletes competing internationally over the weekend. We had the Pro Show in Miami, where Bridget Bailey made her pro debut in fitness. Congratulations to Bridget, and Ness Herrera in bikini. Big international shows for those two in stacked lineups. They got good call-outs and certainly got noticed, so well done girls, we're very proud of you. Also, we had an amateur Olympia in Spain, and I just got off the phone to Jim Mannion, who's our International Pro League president, who told me there was over 670 competitors in the Olympia in Spain. So, you know, for a Pro League show in Europe, that's just phenomenal. And we actually had one of our bikini girls, Courtney Angley, placed first in her class in bikini, which is, you know, a huge effort in a lineup like that. And Angela Gauci was third in her class. So two top three places over there. Couldn't be more proud of you girls. Well done, and look forward to seeing you guys competing in Australia when you get back. We'd like to announce one other thing is one of our sponsors, UPS Protein, who's a naming sponsor for the Arnold Sports Festival, has stepped up and put their money behind all of our events for the rest of the year. They're going to be the naming rights partner at the Nationals, which will be at the Plenary Theatre, which enables us to use the plenary, so thanks to them for that. But also around all of the state shows, so South Australia, WA, New South Wales and Queensland, they're putting $2,000 worth of travel vouchers to each of the shows. So there might be, you know, 4 competitors get $500 each, or 5 competitors get $400 each, or however the judges see fit to distribute those prizes. But it certainly helps our athletes with their travel expenses to come down to Melbourne for our Nationals on October 20th, where we're going to have 7 pro cards up for grabs. The other thing I spoke to Jim Mannion about was all the excitement that we've had and inquiries about the new wellness division, and that will be starting in our season A next year, so all of the Arnold qualifiers and at the Arnold Classic, where we will have a pro card show for wellness, and this is going to explode worldwide. We'll have all the guidelines up in the next week or so, so thanks for all the inquiries about that. The other thing is we'd like to encourage a lot of the coaches out there to come and work with us, and by that we mean we want to support you and for you to support us, because I get people in the gym all the time and also, you're going to do our show in, for example, October. So I know my coach said that, you know, IFBB Pro League is too high of a standard, I should go and do some other federations first, or in a couple of years I'll be ready for you. And it drives us crazy because we have a first timers division where someone can come and do our show and see if our guidelines and our judging kind of suits their physique. The judges can find out all about what we're about. And more importantly, we don't restrict our amateurs from going back and doing another federation. So as far as we're concerned, you can do all the shows. But when we say do all the shows, we mean to include ours. Come and try it out, because it might be just what suits your body type, might be just what you're looking for. And I'm sure going forward next year with the wellness, so we'll have bikini, wellness, fitness, figure and physique for women, there's a class for everyone. So we just really want to welcome you, and then we want to be able to give the shout outs to some of the coaches on stage to allow them to go backstage to help their people to pump up and do all that fine tuning, and to give them tickets for their teams and this sort of thing. So get on board and see how we can help you with your coaching services, because there's some really good coaches out there. You know, we've seen bad examples, but we've also seen many more good examples. So you guys keep up the great work, and please don't hesitate to contact myself or Michael Buhner to ask about our criteria, our guidelines, and what we can do for you going forward. So that's about all of the dot points of news for this week. In fact, I feel that this has been really well supported, and thank you to all of you for watching each week. But we're going to change the pace a little bit in the coming weeks, and maybe every second week I'll do an interview session with one of our professionals, one of our upcoming amateurs, or even Michael with the judging and that sort of thing. We'll keep the news for every second or third week, so we're not just going over the same thing. I just ate and choked, hang on. I'm back. And we'll still have, you know, the Q&A part of it every week, no matter what. So keep the questions coming, and look forward to some good interview stuff, sort of podcast style with some of our top athletes and even the coaches. Someone's interesting, we're going to sit them right here and grill them, find out a little bit more about them for you. Michael, hit me with some questions.
Hey Tony, our first question With the men's physique in October, will it be the same with just the one pose to the front, one pose to the back? It's the suggestion that it would be good if they had more than one pose to do, say one at the back and two at the front. So can we change that up at all moving forward?
Well, to answer that, Michael, and you as head judge know this, that we don't change our posing rules and guidelines to suit a particular competitor. And of course, everyone would love to have their own version. If someone's got a great lat spread, they say, well, can we do the lat spread twice? And if someone's got a great front bicep and really poor from the back, they say, oh, can we eliminate all the back shots? So we can't do that, I don't think, to change our direction. Right now, I mean, you call all the poses, it's one pose from the front and one from the back, correct?
That's correct, yes.
And that's what's in the guidelines for NPC Worldwide and for IFBB ProLeague?
That's correct.
Well, that's what we do, and we'll stick with it. You know, if you're clever though, whoever asked the question, you can do a sneaky little pose, extra one, and if you get told off, stop, and if you don't, well, the judge is going to look at you from another angle. But no, the guidelines are there for a reason. And if we allow, the athletes just to change them to suit themselves and their body type, it'll get upside down really quick.
Good. Next question, someone wants to know about the athlete bios that we used to have on our webpage. Will those athlete bios continue to be posted?
Well, I saw that question come through and I went to our technical team and asked them why that is. And there's a thing called a plugin that goes behind the website. And that particular plugin doesn't work anymore or whatever. So we're trying to find a new one. All the stuff's still there, we haven't ditched it or anything. And that'll be up to date really soon and we'll add more bios and more profile because I know you guys love it and that's why we did it in the first place. So appreciate your patience, hang in there for a minute more and we'll have that fixed. It's just a little glitch.
Okay. Has a venue been decided for the South Australian show? It still says on the website to be confirmed.
Well, that's another website update that we'll have to fix because it is at the Brighton Performing Arts Centre at North Brighton and it's on October the 7th, which I believe is Monday, being a public holiday. So there's a great reason for the fans to come out in their droves to support the show and to support the local competitors. And that, of course, is a qualifier for the Nationals. So anyone wanting to do the Nationals in Melbourne and get a chance at your pro card, you have to do your state show or any of the state shows first, but you do have to do one of them.
What is the process to apply or to be accepted to compete in the Arnold Classic Ohio? Now, it doesn't say whether that's pro or amateur, but...
Well, I think it'll be amateur by the nature of the question because most of the pros, well, I'll cover both. With the pros, you have to be invited. It's the Arnold Invitational, which means you have to be invited. And to be invited, you really have to place top 3 or maybe top 5 in a pro show in the 12 months beforehand. So if you're a first-time pro, for example, in bikini or men's physique or bodybuilding, there's no way you're going to get into Columbus, Ohio as a pro until you kind of earn your stripes a little bit and come up in the rankings because it's a very elite show with huge prize money. So the only 2 shows you can't just enter as a pro is the Olympia, where you have to win a show or get enough points to go in it, and the Arnold Columbus, where you have to be invited. Apart from that, you can do any pro show in the world if you've got a pro card. As an amateur, you can just go in it. You don't have to have our approval or anything else. Anyone in the world as an amateur can go and compete at Columbus, Ohio in the amateur division, and of course there'll be pro cards there for all the winners. And if you want to go and represent Australia, we'd encourage you to let us know, not to get permission or blessing or anything else, but to be part of something great, because we send a big team over there and we supply tracksuits for them, so it's Team Australia and we all stay in the same kind of place and hang out and help each other. And it's been a huge part of the success that we've had. We had a big team down in Brazil this year, Columbus this year, a huge team last year. We want to keep that rolling. As I just said, some of the girls went over and did the Olympia in Spain, the Amateur Olympia just this weekend gone. And we love to see them over there in their Australia tracksuits. We help you out with them, and we just want to see more of that. So compete.
Hey, thank you. Can you get Callum von Moger to compete in Melbourne?
Well, that's really a question for him. He comes and trains here sometimes when he's in Melbourne, because I think his family's down in Geelong, and I know he's really good mates with some of his guys here. I think Adam Rochester, who's one of our top super heavyweight competitors, has been over there staying with him at the moment. So I might get him to lean on him a little bit. But I'm not sure if Callum got his pro card with the ProLeague. I don't think so. So as an amateur, he can come in and do the Arnolds, absolutely, and he can win his pro card and then go forward. But I know he's had a few injuries doing, Australian kind of things, skylarking, and, he's torn his bicep, his knee or his hamstring or something doing some crazy stunts. I think he was base jumping or something that only Callum would do. So I know he's very, very popular, and if we can't get him here competing, let's at least get him back to the Arnold as a guest, because I know every time we've had him here, he's had a giant queue, a lineup of people wanting to have a picture with him, get to know him. And what I like about Callum is I think he really promotes Australia well. He's gone over there and just maintained his Aussie larrikinism and boganism, and I think he's just hilarious when he gets on and posts his stuff. So keep up the good work if you're watching this, Callum.
Okay, and our final question so far, unless another one comes through, do I have to be a member of the IFBB Pro League in order to compete?
No, we don't have an organisation that you have to join at all, and this is probably one of our strongest points, Michael, and everybody else that's filming here, and you guys out there, is that most federations and groups, they charge you an entry fee, plus you have to be a member, and then some of them, the membership only runs through, say, till the 1st of July, and then you've got to join again, even if you only got the second half of the year. Some of them, it goes internationally, and you pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars just for the privilege of being a member before you pay your entry fee. With us, I think we're the cheapest entry fee of any federation in the country. We've kept our prices down because, you know, for us it's all about the athletes having a great experience, and you don't want your ass to be broke going into a show because you've got to buy your posing trunks, your bikini, and your coaching and your travel and your hotel and all these kind of tan and makeup and all these kind of things. And, you know, for the competitors starting out, it can be a hugely expensive sport. So we're trying our best to get the fans to come to buy the tickets, which offsets the need to charge exorbitant rates for entry fees. And we're not doing a membership thing at the moment. We may do it going forward as the NPC worldwide falls into place, but right now, no membership fees whatsoever, so take advantage of our good nature. What else, Mick?
We just had one question come through just now. In regards to the fitness divisions, are you keeping the quarter turns, or are you following what they are doing in America by removing the quarter turns?
I think we decided as amateurs here, we just keep doing what we're doing. So we do a bikini round with quarter turns, and then the performance round. And then the Pro League here, I think in the pros they still do that as well, yeah. So no, nothing's changing here whatsoever. But what we do need to see change in fitness is to get more girls competing. Because time and time again, we only get 1 or 2 girls competing at the shows. And then the Nationals is fantastic, the Arnold's is fantastic, but a lot of the state shows we only have 1 or 2 competitors. And people don't realise that this is a great expression of yourself if you've done gymnastics or calisthenics or strength or dance and all these sort of things. And you can do really, really well with it. I mean, the road to getting a pro card in fitness is probably a lot easier than bikini or figure. Because if you've got a great athletic routine, you can do your flips and flexibility and all those sort of things, you can go a long way in the sport real quick. And we always have fitness at the Arnold, Australia with the Arnolds all around the world. We really do promote the fitness division, because to me and to Arnold and to the Lorimers and everybody in our group, it's the most exciting part of the sport that we have. Because these routines at a pro level are just insane. You know, I know as an MC of the shows, I'm watching their routines because it's, and I see them from the side. When you see how high they get off the ground and some of the amazing gymnastic moves they do, it's just inspiring. And I think good for the sport, because when we have guests come along, you know, international event guests or high profile sponsor guests, or maybe government representatives come along to the shows, they don't really get all the flexing and all the bodybuilding and all the most musculars. And they're pretty amazed by it, and they, you know, they politely clap and they probably secretly love it. But what they're inspired by and what they just go, wow, I didn't know that you guys promoted this, is fitness. So to me, it's a very, very important part of our entertainment aspect at the pro shows. And we provide pure bodybuilding entertainment. So without fitness, I think it'd be a little boring. So girls, get out there, start practicing your routines, you know, work with a gymnastics coach, and let's see you all competing so we can keep that division going and make it even stronger.
Thank you, Tony. That's it for the questions. If I could just off camera remind everyone, we've got our first posing clinic in a couple of weeks on the Saturday, the 29th of June.
That's where?
Here at Doherty's Brunswick, starting at 12.
Brunswick, 45 Western Street, Brunswick, 12 noon. 12
till 2, and that's open to everyone, so start your posing journey early.
Right, now I'm going to ask you some questions. Can coaches come along?
Yes, we're actually hoping that coaches do come along to understand and learn from the judges and from our pros exactly what our guidelines are, and that we are open for everyone. We've got divisions for everyone, as you earlier said.
The other thing is, you never know who you're going to see here. So, for example, I think at all of them bar one in Melbourne, Josh Lenardowitz has just rocked up to help the up-and-coming bodybuilders. Now imagine that. Where else in the world, what other sport? Imagine you're into basketball and you went to do a free clinic and Kobe Bryant rocked up. Well, that's like Josh Lenardowitz rocking up. He does it for free and he comes and supports all of us. It's not just him, but all of our bikini pros and our figure pros and our fitness pros. They all come along to help you guys to be better at it. You know, Michael has his judges here. I get to all of the posing clinics that I can, and in every state our pros come along. And it's free. There's no obligation. You haven't got to, we don't even take your name or email or anything. We're not trying to build a database. We're trying to be transparent and approachable and to teach. So please feel welcome to come along.
We've just had another question just pop up, Tony, if you're interested. Can we have a Masters figure overall in the big shows? You had 17 female figure Masters this year at the Arnolds. They have this overseas. So she's asking about the Masters figures for overalls at the bigger shows.
So what's the question?
Well, they want to know, can we have a Masters figure overall in the big shows? But we only have the overalls are for open divisions rather than...
Were they saying an overall between, for example, the over 35, over 40 and over 50?
That's what...
Or are they saying, because this could go two ways, can a Masters competitor go into the overall?
I think they're asking that, can a Masters competitor...
I know, but that's what you think and I'm thinking that. So rather than what we think, we'll just try and answer both questions. Look, it's something for us to talk about our Judges Committee meetings and to talk about internationally. Our answer normally to when people request a certain class, juniors or masters or whatever else, is to say, if people support it, we'll put it on. What we don't want is divisions with just one or two or three competitors in them. And we made a decision with our overalls just to have the different height classes and weight classes in it, so it's open winners. You know, early on when we first started the Pro League stuff, we allowed the juniors and the masters and even the novices to go into the overall. And in hindsight, it probably should be something where you have to win an open class to go in it. Now, Masters is a little different because the standard's so high in Masters that maybe that's something we look at. So it's not a no, it's let's have a look at it and see what we can do.
Okay.
Any more?
No, that's it.
Sarah, do you have any questions?
No.
Simone, do you have any questions?
No.
Audience, no more questions? Michael, any that you've just got brewing away there?
No, that's it, Tony. Thank you.
All right, we're going to keep it short and sweet this week. We do appreciate you tuning in. As I said, we're going to mix it up for next week. We'll have a special guest and we'll announce who that is so you can put up some questions for that. But as far as the bodybuilding style questions, keep them coming. We want to educate you guys and make you feel welcome. And remember, our next two shows coming up is our mid-year pro qualifier on July 29th here in Melbourne. And there's a pro card for bikini and a pro card for men's physique, followed by the country classic on August 31st in Bendigo, where there's $3,000 in prize money towards going to the Amateur Olympia in Las Vegas. Michael, was that a signal?
July 27th.
July 27th is our pro queue. Don't rock up on the 29th because that'll be a Monday and everyone will be at work. Can I tell you a funny story? Years ago, I should do more story time, here's a good one. Years ago, I had Lou Ferrigno come out here to guest post, like a long time, early 90s, and he'd done his comeback after 17 years, I always remember numbers, 17 years of not competing, and he was 70 pound heavier than when he filmed Pumping Iron in 1974, 75. He had all that time off. He came back at around 40 years of age, 40 something, to do his comeback. And I still remember he guest posted in Melbourne. He was 311 pounds on stage, ripped, 9 weeks before his Olympia. And he sent me this big long list of everything he wanted to eat while he was really panicking about coming out here to guest post so close to his comeback show. But he agreed to do it, and we had him in all the different states. But I'll never forget when we brought him to Melbourne, it was at Dallas Brooks Hall, and there was 3 generations of fans there. So there was all the 90s fans were there, and all the 80s fans were there, and the ones from the 70s come out of the woodwork because they'd never seen Big Louie, and because he was so much bigger, you know, with all the advances in training and nutrition, that sort of thing. He was the biggest he's ever been, over 300 pounds, that's like 140 something kilos, ripped. And he bought the house down. I'll find a picture, Sarah, and put it up on the ProLeague site because I know I've got some somewhere. And he was just incredible. We packed the joint out, 3 levels of fans, 3 generations of fans. It was one of the first big interviews I ever did, and I really got deep with Louie, and he told us about, you know, his appearance on Pumping Iron wasn't quite real, because him and his father weren't the great friends that they pretended to be, and the father kind of abused him when he was young. Not that kind of abuse, but like mental abuse for being a deaf kid and not being good at football and all this. We got really deep, we became great friends. I've interviewed Louis a few times since. But where I'm going with the story and what's kind of funny about it is the next day, so it was on a Saturday, and on the Sunday I went, oh shit, I left my, I don't know, briefcase, coat, hat, whatever, at the venue, or some paperwork or something, and I had to go back to the venue at Dallas Brooks Hall. And I remember I parked there at the Freemasons where it was, and I walked in, I grabbed whatever it was that I'd forgotten, and I walked out with it, which I can't remember what it was, but I had something, let's say a hat. So I went in and got my hat and I walked out, and I'm walking out and I see this guy, he's all pumped up and he's got the muscle shirt on with the cut off sleeves and the big daggy neck, and that we didn't have the food prep bags back then, so it was like an esky with his meals and his tuna and chicken and rice and all this kind of thing, and he's all pumped up for a day at the bodybuilding. And I said, where are you going, brother? He goes, I'm going in to see the show. All my life I wanted to see Lou Ferrigno. I said, it's Sunday. He goes, yeah, today. I go, no. The show was yesterday. Louis already gone now. He's left the state. He goes, what do you mean? I said, I mean, you got your days mixed up, son. This is not the day that Louis was on. And the guy had saved up, taken time away, done all this, and completely messed it up and came on the wrong day. I've never seen a sadder person. He became very emotional, and he couldn't believe that. He thought I was playing a trick on him, right? He goes, I'm going in anyway. I go, cool, there's like a religious service or an Asian festival or something in there today, so good luck with that, but there's definitely no £300 Lou Ferrigno. So check your dates. That's today's story time, and I'm out. Thank you.